Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do. Hey, what is going on, all you who's out there? Over the holiday season, I decided to come across one of the biggest Christmas hits based on one of the greatest Dr. Seuss hits, and that is, of course, The Grinch, one of the biggest, earliest award-winning books done by him. And of course, most people would probably think that the fact that this is a review for the very old one, of course a lot of people would be thinking of the second one in line, the Ron Howard film. Most people would obviously be thinking of that Grinch film when people think about the Grinch movies, but of course there has been an even older one. I mean, this is one that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with as much as Ron Howard's Grinch or the Illumination adaptation, but this is definitely a very interesting one, and one that honestly needs to have a lot more attention than just the Ron Howard film. Because what's special about this one is, you might know about this one, this film has been featured in like the Home Alone films, if you're familiar. And of course, you know, this is definitely transcended well over time since it came out all the way back in 1966. It's a really good classic. It's definitely one that captures the spirit, the charm of the book really well. And of course, let's get into why that is. Starting off on the positives. This is definitely a very simple, short length film. You know, the duration is really, really simple. It's just literally 24 to 25 minutes long, this film. It's a very old animation from the early to mid 60s. It was like, you know, it's only 24 minutes literally, and it has a very simple premise, just like the book itself. It's a story of, you know, we all know the story. Grinch is one who hates Christmas. The Who's do love Christmas, and he's one who obviously intends to steal Christmas. And obviously there comes the result where, you know, he learns what Christmas really means, all of that. It's a story of joy, acceptance and love, and obviously just feeling important, feeling accepted, and that's kind of what they explore with the Grinch in a story like that. And that's exactly what this movie does just as well. Like, what I can definitely point out is our actor doing the voice for the Grinch here, Boris Karloff, also the one narrating. He does a fantastic job at doing the Grinch here. You know, he's got the intimidation, those moments of being very intimidating to people, to characters such as his own dog, Max. He's got that great delivery of the lines, you know, all the rhymes and everything, just like in the book, like, they'll feast, feast, feast. Or, it couldn't be delivered in packages or boxes and bags. He's got all those moments throughout the movie where he just delivers all of those lines and so on. You know, again, like the book, very short, and it just has all those moments where there's really no one even in this movie apart from just Boris Karloff. Whoever does like the voice of Cindy Lou, and obviously the Grinch voiced by Boris. That's all you get in here. You just get a simple cast, you get a simple story, 20-ish minutes long, and it's just that story as we all know. But, you know, obviously to follow with that, the animation, it was very expensive for its time, but they nailed it. They did pretty good with the animation technique here for their time. And the soundtrack is well suited for the film. You know, the soundtrack blends in well. And of course, we really, you know, get a lot of creativity here and there with like how the Grinch steals Christmas, how the humor is thrown in there with like the way the Who's do things. We're celebrating Christmas. We see how the Grinch obviously, takes things from the Who's homes, one after another. How he takes the roast beef, the can of Who hash, and the crumb that's too small even for a mouse. We get all those moments throughout this lovely adaptation, and we even just obviously, we all know we get that song, that very popular song originally done by Thurl Ravenscroft. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
What really pays off well in a movie like this is that it's very short, simple, direct on its approach. It doesn't have anything else to really do except just tell the story literally in its own live format. It literally just brings to everything from the book to life, literally just beat by beat. Everything in this adaptation is just done exactly as the book. Everything on the pages is just, it's all here throughout this adaptation, and that's exactly what this one gets right. This is an adaptation that I feel like I have to kind of love it a lot more than Ron Howard's The Grinch, because that's a film that, has its own ideas and it still captures the source material, as does the Illumination film. But this is one that really just understands how to be a simple length movie, just like the book. Literally, when you read the book, it's literally like a 10-minute read, and then with the movie here, it's literally just 10 to 15 minutes to just see what they put together. It's a simple film that just goes all in with its ideas and its story, and it gets every moment right. From start to finish, Grinch hates Christmas. We see how he mentions, obviously, everything he hates, what he has to do to stop Christmas from coming, and obviously how he steals Christmas. You get the moments of him just taking everything, the rhymes, and of course him just learning what it really means to obviously respect Christmas for what it is and actually see different. And then, heart grows 3 sizes that day. Everything comes together in this adaptation, and that's exactly what I have to admit that I really, really adore about this adaptation. I think I'd say it's honestly the best of the 3, because it's the one that really just keeps a simple premise. Not one thing is kind of out of place or extras that feel like, didn't really need that. Every moment we need from what we get in the book is here in this adaptation, and that's what gives this one that much leverage to be the best of the 3 Grinch films we've had. It's definitely one that's been received incredibly well over time by many fans and critics out there. It's got a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The rating from IMDb is great as well. It's the highest rated of the 3 Grinch films, and I'm definitely there for that. The Grinch films, all of them are good really, but this one is truly phenomenal and truly captures the heart of the book the best for me. And I really just love the approach of everything in this. Not one moment disappoints me or is doesn't need to be there. This adaptation, has every moment that I want for a Grinch adaptation, and that's exactly what this one from Chuck Jones gets right. And honestly, I'm not really going to have any negatives to give this film, so all I would say is that there's going to be some mixed for this one. So for my mixed feedback is that it's nothing major really, but Grinch may be green, as we all know, but in the original book, he actually wasn't green. The Grinch story was always actually set in black and white with the layout, and the Grinch actually isn't even green in that, even though apparently they just updated it to be that he's a green Dr. Seuss character, but he's actually not green, but they make him green here. They even had a sequel after this, a follow-up that was actually more of a prequel, And I don't think they really needed that. It was called Halloween is Grinch Night back in like 1977. That's a prequel that comes before The Grinch That Stole Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And it wasn't obviously like well received as much as, you know, the original hit, you know what I mean? Like, I know that we obviously, you know, would probably want to see more adventures from the Grinch, but the Grinch having his own little prequel film to do with Halloween is maybe fun, but not really worth it as much as just the original book. I mean, yeah, there's a follow-up after this, but there's no need for it, honestly. And so, yeah, of course, that's everything, people, for the Grinch. You know, this is definitely a fantastic classic. There's plenty of things that, you know, you're bound to enjoy here and there with this movie. You know, a lot of things are really well done from start to finish, and it's a movie that, you know, you're definitely going to love if, you know, you love the character, if you love to obviously see adaptions that stay true to the source material of, like, you know, books, novels as originally come. And that's exactly what this adaptation of The Grinch gets right. So if you're ever feeling open to check this out, absolutely do it, because this is like a perfect adaptation to The Grinch as we know it. You know, this is the one that you should be seeing more of, rather than just Ron Howard's The Grinch every Christmas. This one, definitely make worth your time, because you won't be disappointed. And of course, as always, continue to like, comment, subscribe, and keep feasting for more entertainment.